Präsident.
Ladies and Gentlemen, meine sehr geehrten Beauftragten bitten, das Wort zu ergreifen.
Señor presidente, señoras, y que también vio a continuación los bombardeos de Gaza, que las Naciones Unidas califican de una catástrofe humanitaria inédita, pero no una catástrofe natural, no es un terremoto ni una inundación, es una catástrofe producida como consecuencia de un bloqueo que impide llegar los elementos básicos para la subsistencia de la población.
Mr. President, as stated by President von der Leyen earlier today, we wholeheartedly welcome the agreement reached on the release of the 50 hostages and on a pause of hostilities. We stress, at the same time, the urgent need for all hostages to be released immediately, and we will work with our humanitarian partners to use the pause for a humanitarian surge in Gaza. Allow me to focus on three issues in my intervention: the European Union's humanitarian response and the outlook beyond the immediate humanitarian crisis. First, on the humanitarian situation in Gaza. There has been no let-up in the intense bombardment and fighting in Gaza. Casualty rates remain very high. At least 12,700 Palestinians are reported killed, including a very high proportion of women and children. 1.7 million people are displaced within Gaza. Thousands are currently on the move. We are seeing ongoing attacks on and fighting around medical facilities, which are protected under the international humanitarian law. There is an acute shortage across Gaza of all the most basic necessities: food, medicines, including anesthetics, water. According to the United Nations, food assistance currently covers only 10% of the minimum caloric intake. Medical facilities are either on the brink of collapse or have already shut down. Only 9 out of 35 hospitals in Gaza are reportedly still functioning, and this only partially. The agreement on 18 November by Israel to allow 120,000 liters of fuel for humanitarian operations is a step in the right direction, but will only cover 1/3 of the daily critical needs. Without fuel, on EU response. As President von der Leyen announced, we have quadrupled our humanitarian funding for the occupied Palestinian territory to more than 100 million euros. This is being rolled out as we speak, supporting our accredited partners on the ground, the United Nations, the Red Cross and Red Crescent, and international non-governmental organizations. They are distributing food and water, maintaining emergency medical services where possible, helping with mass casualty management, ensuring basic hygiene, and so on. And we are continuously ramping up our European in-kind response. We hope that the agreement on a pause of hostilities that has just been reached will allow for a substantial surge in humanitarian aid delivery into and within Gaza. And we certainly hope that this will not be a one-off. Third, on the prospects for Gaza and the broader Israeli-Palestine conflict, High Representative spoke about that already. Even as we respond to the immediate humanitarian challenges and do everything we can to promote respect for international humanitarian law, we need a step change in efforts to put work on a political solution to the conflict back on track. This means reinvigorating and accelerating efforts that have long been stalled towards a two-state solution, as the only way forward that can offer hope to both Palestinians and Israelis. Gaza as an integral part of a solution to the broader Israeli-Palestinian issue. preventing any forcible displacement of Palestinians out of Gaza, urgently de-escalating the situation in the West Bank, and in particular stopping the extremist settler violence, which has increased dramatically in recent weeks, and supporting a legitimate Palestinian alternative to engaging now if we are to break the spiral of violence, restore hope to people in Palestine and Israel, and prevent broader instability in the Middle East.